recently they're not. Some reason or so, they're getting all stroppy with Russian. Mr. Putin, Mr. Putin is the only guy who sends people here to fucking kill you people.
I spent most of my money just trying to get the shit.
Isn't he?
Preach.
So Mr. Putin is the boss man. He is the top dog. Top boss man.
If I never know, I'd stay in my house. I'd never come out. I'd wear a mask or something. You know what I
Anyway.
mean? This guy's out there loud selling you trucks and ambulances. Goddamn hole in his fucking face. They owed me. And they screwed me. The way I see it, it's all coming back around.
Come back around, around and round.
3500 turbo diesel, real fucking automobile salesman, you know? Found with too much product in his hair and a big fucking awesome suit. You know? That guy. With this money you need, we're gonna make this company.
We need more fucks
That I had the vision the first time. Me and my faster than
to boost our rating.
no longer the next
Hey?
dude.
We need more fucks.
What we need is more Putin.
True.
He could come and send his people here and then hunt the fucking Russian one by one who run away with money.
You know, hey, but the money,
Mm-hmm.
you block.
It should fill up the tank with the fucking palladium and the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? The other stuff, the stuff that they used in what was it called?
We talked to the nurses,
The other stuff, not palladium, the other one.
Nothing. There's somebody who said
Novichok.
Knickknacks?
Novichok. Novichok.
Novichok. How much are the knickknacks?
Knickknacks are 75 pence and £1.
How much is for Novichok?
Novichok, I don't know. I'm waiting for my shipment from Mr. Putin. He's going to send a box full of it. And I think we should...
We should all get high on
we
Novichok.
should hold it high regards.
Man's missing this.
And
But what do you think of Boris Yeltsin?
we're just gonna give up on the score.
Yeltsin? Is that the drinking guy?
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Is that?
Well, not much. I
Who's
mean, he
that?
was innocent. Listen,
He was a good man. Real alcoholic.
I mean, I don't much about this man Yeltsin. Not enough about him.
Came on a little strong.
Do you?
You know, this company's all like that, man. You gotta.
I think the West love a lot of these people. I'll tell you why.
Yeltsin loved to party. He would
The
party all
reason the
night.
West loved these people, this Boris and Gorbachev and all them, but I think Russia should have stayed Russia. Because let's put it this way. It was no point adding more criminals to the world. We had enough criminals already. We had the Mexicans, cartel, the fucking South Americans, and then no point putting Russians into the
Mix.
market. You know, there was enough people there. And I probably think the new modern criminals would be much better than the old, where you had the body flexing and the guy had to be 6'5" to make it look, I'm bad, don't fuck with me. Well, I personally think that you need a criminal. Nowadays, the criminal can be 5'2", but has to be computer genius. Doesn't have to be using guns and knives and whatever strength. And I reckon it can bring the country to its knees. I think Russians planned it pretty well, because Russians have a lot of these Wi-Fi's and a lot of these things in their hand. They can see. There's quite a few things that you gotta. You could say to this world that so and so. Say if you had a Mexican and you say, well, the Mexican guy, he's a good. He can. What you call this thing? The people when they take your the numbers.
Kidnapping?
Not kidnap, but just take all your details, say. And we're not gonna pick this up, right? So, but what it is yeah. So they used to think same with the Russia, but then Russians, you look at it, and my favorite games of 80s was a game where a Russian guy developed it.
Russian roulette?
Kid. No, the shapes dropped on the thing. What was it called? This game on the PlayStation, not PlayStation, the Tetris. Well, if that guy developed that, that means he's good enough to tap into the computer. And if it is, he wasn't just the only. Well, there must have been other Russians, and so I give them a benefit of doubt that yeah, they're good to without somebody telling me that so and so is a computer genius and he can crash the whatever British. But one thing is I'm not sure, and maybe you can help me, you and you. This Wi-Fi cables, what they're talking about, is there such a thing as a cable that is going around all around the British Isle? The Russian submarines are near there to cut these wires.
We got this one already. We're already on this cable.
Yeah, I know that they keep saying it. The Russians are watching it, and the Russians have it under control. That one day they can. And if they do cut those cables all over the place, are we in a situation where?
The idea is to use all around Wi-Fi routers as a magnifying signal without interrupting any passcodes, any privacy or anything. So if you have a Wi-Fi router, it will be used to use additional signals and shit.
Yeah. So how can a Russian disrupt this country's doing things everyday life by cutting some of those cables?
We have what? We have full cut cable when we're drunk.
No, but if you cut the cables along this, where are they? In the coastline of all around Britain?
No. There are no cables.
There are no cables, but there's been called as a cable.
Yeah, it's just.
Okay, so it's not physical cable
It's
around.
not a physical cable.
Okay, so the word is used for cable is like there is something there that can be.
Imagine your Wi-Fi is connected to Billy's. Billy's to this apartment. This apartment is back to you. You back to other people. And then all this network is being amplified with a few more signals for cell phone users. And you won't even know it that you have it and given it.
Yeah. I mean, I read about it every week that somebody stole a lot of your details.
Yeah.
And every week by the different. I mean, you remember the first one was this talk, and then there was a PlayStation. All these people, they're different people. They have lost their. Well, I think so. What we are saying here now is like, say, Gordon thinks he's independent, and he can the America look after him and thing, but there are countries that can screw America up as well, or screw this country. And what I mean by screwing this country is, I remember there was a little while back. At that time, there wasn't much knowledge on this, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't study because I don't. But no, that's wrong. But the clock is wrong. I have not changed it. I've not changed it.
I want to show you something, guys.
Okay. A magic?
Stop the share.